thing. I got the salamanders going on that. It's not that it's cold out, it's just the dampness. Because it is raining pretty good right now. Try to get that to dry, drip dry and blow dry. Yeah, gonna give this thing a full grease job, and depending on if my local Napa has them, I'm gonna do an oil change. Get that out of my way. I already made a parts list. I need an airbag, 2 windshields, maybe today as well. We'll replace the tarp on it. Because that's what's called a gravel tarp, and what I need to put on it is an asphalt tarp. I'll get that taken care of. That's my asphalt tarp right there. Yes, that's a light. I got to do something, because when they change these lights right here, there's supposed to be a light on the side for a turn signal. So as you literally, I just stand right here to the truck. There is no turn signal that you can see. So I need to put one on and get it on the truck. I don't know if I'll put it up here on the mirror or down here on the step, like this step or one of these two. I might go up on the mirror just because it's less wiring I got to do. And yes, I said wiring. Right now I'm just trying to let this drip dry. It's like 8:15. We don't open till 9. Figured I already had breakfast. I figured I'd get down here, get this thing starting to dry out, and then we go from there. So we got to go on from there. I just happen to notice I got to get put a new battery in the GoPro. We'll be right back. While I let this drip, I just got off the phone with Napa. So while I let this drip dry, I got to go get 11 gallons of oil and filters for this. Yeah, not cheap. Thinking it could be 1.5 inches, and you just so happen to have 1.5 inch wrench. Let's see.
Yeah, in the back though, I have to have those big wrenches.
Yep, 1.5 inches it is. Wow. Wow. Wow.
You're bending the wrench? Nope, she just broke. She's free.
Yeah, I know, but
That took the whole thing.
I should use a 3-ton core jack to bust that thing free.
Yeah. That's gonna shoot out, so.
That's what I'm trying to get into, where it goes corner to corner. I gotta come out and take a look at the magnet on it. That's just like black water. Okay. As you saw, we drained the oil. The owner gave me a hand. You changed the filters on it while I was underneath there. Again, I also had to put the oil filter on because I was underneath the truck. It's easier to put it on underneath the truck. I can reach straight up. But gave me a wrong filter. I just went back to Napa here and exchanged it out. Hopefully I got the right one. And while I was here, I'm going to do a grease job on the truck. I got a case of red and tacky grease, Lucas red and tacky, so that's going to be a little on the expensive side, but I think it's well worth it for the red and tacky, especially for what that dump truck's going to be doing. So you want the grease to stick around as long as possible. All right, we're headed back to the shop. I'll try to finish up. I get the other fuel filter. I said I hope this is the correct one. So we're gonna put the new fuel filter on and put the drain plug in the back of the motor. That was ridiculous too. Having to use a 3-ton floor jack to bust that free. It started to lift the motor up before it busted free. There's no need of that. You don't need to crank those plugs on as hard as that tight. You put it on and snug it up. You don't put it on with an impact gun. It's nice to have a shop to work in too when the weather's like this.
In there.
Yeah, I got a longer, it's not, the opening is not as big, but.
That's got a big opening, so you'll be able to plug it right in there.
Oh, this Lucas doesn't glug. It kind of oozes.
I've got this one too. You can get above.
Yeah.
This is the other one, but the problem is this is just so much of an angle. Oh, you're putting that stuff in.
Yeah.
You're putting the oil in.
I usually put this in and then I chase it with the oil so it flushes it all down.
You got that drain plug nice and tight?
Yep. At $50 a bottle, yeah. I want all of it. So put this in, plug it down. There's one down, this here. I put this 9, start it, check everything, then plug it down. I just throw that in there. Open. He's still looking at that. Let's go. Okay, we get like 6. Right here. Oh, okay. Yes, boss. You like it. This one is pretty good. Yeah. I did yes, $270. There's a I got 2.5. Yeah. Say 9. Put my guy down there, the other guy 9. Put that. Yes, you get like that. Come on. Well, I learned a painful lesson. Okay, I put all the... People complain about their oil changes in their cars. When they go through a quick lube, that's $100, say $100, $125, $150. Oil and filters for this thing itself was $400. That's me doing it. But the painful lesson I learned was this filter and that filter are both fuel. This is my water separator filter, and that's a fuel filter. Fill these completely full, because if you don't, you'll start the motor, and then when it starts sucking air, it does not like to work. So we just spent the past 45 minutes pumping and pumping and pumping to get that, to get it up. After we pulled these off and filled them both full, then started pumping. But you saw me struggling with the drain plug, and we said how things were on this motor were just excessively tight. It was not necessary to be as tight as they were. Well, this filter right here, of course I put the date, the mileage. That filter right there is replacing this one. See that hole? Whoa. And that hole. That filter is crushed. Yeah, see right here. We were crushing it with the filter wrenches. The only way to get that filter off is we had to drive a screwdriver straight through it. Then it took the both of us pulling on it to get that filter to come loose. I swear to God, they put it on with an impact gun. What'd I do with that? Spun it on hand tight and then just snug. 1/8 to maybe 1/4 of a turn on it. That's all you need to do. My God. But okay, now next. Grease. That is going to take a while. So I'm gonna grease this. Today's video is probably gonna be a little short. I'm not gonna drag you around the whole truck, greasing the whole thing. I gotta take my time. It's like, got a fitting here, fitting here, fitting here. You got one there, you got another one, another one, another one, top, bottom, here, drip, linkage, spring here. I do not know if there's one up front. So there's gonna be a lot of fittings. What I can do, of course, get drive shaft. I mean, everything on this thing, anything that moves should have a grease fitting on it. And it's gonna take me a while. So instead of time lapse and all of it, I'll bring you back and tell you how many grease fittings I found. Yes, I'll count them and let you know. And if I get done early enough, tackle the tarp. But oh, by the way, as it sets right now, starting at idle, oil pressure is 70 pounds. What's it gonna be going down the road after the oil warms up? Don't know. But I still got Cat. I can drop this off to, not Cat, but Peterbilt. Drop this off to Peterbilt. Say, I call them up Monday, say, hey, you know, I can call them up on Monday, say, hey, I'm gonna drop it off Monday. They'll get it in Tuesday and get it out for me by, say, Friday, depending on what it is. So I do want to, I'm gonna take this out when I get done today or tomorrow. Probably not today because of the rain. It's gonna keep the oil temperatures down, but maybe tomorrow I might take it for a ride, get the oil hot, and see if the jakes mess up after this oil change. That's another reason why I did the oil change today. That lens looks dirty. That looks a little bit better, but it's still kind of shiny. So yeah, I'm just trying to do what I can. Oh, another thing about this truck is it's got remote lube. I don't know what those, can't read what it says on there, but see, like it says clutch linkage. So there's gonna be a couple on the clutch that I'll have to grease manually because those aren't on the linkage. Actually, there's only 2 on there and I don't know what they go to, so I'll have to follow them and let you know. Oh, the joys. We just grabbed some, the owner went and bought some pizza for us, so that's great. The joys of this. Tie rod going across from the driver's side to the passenger side. 0 grease fittings. They were both broke off. How long, I don't know. But I wouldn't say they were dry, but they did take quite a bit of grease. I've only gone the steer axle. I still haven't gone through the transmission. Of course, the pusher axle has a bunch of fittings as well on it, because that's a steerable axle. I put it on the ground, and as I turn a corner, it will turn on its own. And the rest of the truck, one thing I do not like, and I might try to do something later on down the road at home with this, is there are no grease fittings on this hydraulic ram. There should be, I would prefer grease fittings, but there are none. The only grease fittings on the body are back there at the hinge point. There are two up in the tailgate. I'll have to get a ladder to get those. But yeah, actually, I'm gonna do something. I'm gonna count how many grease fittings I have. Leave a comment below how many you think there. Let's just have just a little fun. How many grease fittings you think's on the truck? Don't cheat and go to the end of the video. Leave a comment, and then at the end of the video, I will say exactly how many grease fittings are on this truck. And there is quite a few. So just give you an idea. I'm gonna cheat a little bit and give you a little hint. Just not this side, but the driver's side of this truck. Just on that one wheel, between the springs and all the steering linkage and the spindle, there was 14 grease fittings on that one side. How many? Now take a guess, figure out how many's here, how many's on the transmission, all the U-joints. You got all the slack adjusters on each axle, plus the steering for the steering on the pusher axle. Just take a guess of how many grease fittings there are. And as I said, it's just for fun. I ain't got nothing. I don't have nothing right now to give away, but just have a little fun. Okay, I'm gonna continue on here because, as I said, I'm still not done up front here. I just got done finishing putting the grease fitting on the bottom of that tie rod right there. So I still got, and I did do the bottom, but I got the tie rod. I did the slack adjuster. I still got, or the S-cam. I got the slack adjuster, top of that. I still got the spring to grease. Then I gotta start working my way backwards. 2.5 tubes of grease. Yes, 2.5 tubes. This front end here took pretty close to half a tube itself, which isn't that bad. But from the transmission back, completely different story. They said they replaced the U-joints basically from the transmission to that front drive. I'm not putting them down. They might have, but they were spray painted over black. When they did it, I don't know. Every U-joint was pretty dry. I'm lucky I didn't lose one on the way back. How many millions of rotations those U-joints did just getting from Indianapolis back here. Brakes will pass sticker. I got crawling around underneath a little more looking at it. They'll pass. I'll have to do them soon. Pusher axle's perfectly fine. Of course, that's the one we just put the new brakes on. I'm gonna new brakes on the other side. Then I've got the 4 drives I'm gonna have to do at some point in time. And when I do the 4 drives, I'll just do it one axle at a time on a weekend. I'll do it like, it depends too. I mean, I might just do them all, who knows. That way I don't have to worry about it. All right, we gotta package up, get rid of some oil here. All right, I got booted out of the shop. It's what, 3:20? So yeah, we've been at it for a while today. Show you what the oil pressure looks like. That's at an idle. And here's what the oil temperature shows. Well, what, 125? So I'm gonna go for a little ride, see if I can get the oil temperature up to 200. It stopped raining. I don't know if it will or not, just because of the moisture kicking up from the road, but we'll try to see if I can't get the oil temperature up over 200, 210, and see if the Jakes act up. If they do act up, I've got to call and either call Cat or the Peterbilt dealership and have them take a look at it. I know the Peterbilt dealership said they could have me in, and I could have it in, bring it in to them one day, they get it in the next, maybe have it out that same day that they bring it in. I don't know. We're just gonna have to see what's going on, but let's go for a quick ride. All right, let me turn the Jakes on. I've been running around just trying to get the oil temperature up so I can say you see my actual reaction. Oil temperature 200. Oil pressure. Tack. Speedometer. Get it up to 50 mile an hour. They're all working. You hear that crunch, 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 crunch? It sounds like I got something loose inside the dash, or there might be something in the vents. I gotta take a look at that, figure out, find out what's going on. I do have one of those borescope cameras. I'll run out the vents and see if it may be like a screwdriver or something in there. I don't know what it is. But as of right now, back up to 50 mile an hour. They're working. And I said the oil pressure is running right around 70, 72 psi. I don't know, that oil did look a little thin. I don't think it'd be enough to do what it did to make the Jakes act up. But we'll find out. Alright, so let's end it here. Please oh, by the way, the answer to the question, 66 grease fittings on this truck. I went through every one. Everything took grease, thank God. Everything but one. I got one on the tailgate I got to fix. The pin took a hit and bent the metal in, so I can't get the grease fitting gun on the grease fitting. The other thing I needed to check was the oil pressure at idle. So I figured I got myself spun around and head back towards town. Call that about 32, 33 pounds of pressure. That's what it does at idle. Before, as I said, it would drop down to 20. And the oil pressure, oil temperature, still up there. Water coolant temperature is about 195. So I'm gonna say we're good. So yeah, let's end it here. Please like, share, subscribe, comment, stay safe. I'll see you in the next one. Well, I spoke too soon.